A British company is helping employers to microchip their staff. Biotech says it has already fitted 150 implants in the UK, which enable people to open doors or even start a car with a wave of their hand. But trade unions are warning that bosses already have too much power and employees should not be pressured into being chipped. Our technology correspondent Roland Manthorpe reports.
Stephen Northam has a chip, but it's not on his shoulder. It's right here, between his thumb and forefinger. The Hampshire-based investor had it implanted last year. He says it's proving, well, handy.
I use it to access my office, so all the doors are swipe card entry. My house actually has smart card entry now, so I swipe my hand to enter. And I can actually start my car by putting my hand on the steering wheel. So that's the general purpose.
Stephen's company, Biotech, sells the service to individuals, but also to companies.
So a whole range of people are buying this. It's a really thriving business now. So we've got engineering companies, we've worked with a bank interested in testing and technology, a local newspaper, a whole variety.
It's a small but growing trend. In Sweden, where around 6,000 people have chips, even the state-owned rail company has joined in.
And we have about 2,500 to 3,000 people using the microchip implants as tickets on our train services.
For some, the vision is of technologically transcending the limits of the human body. But the kit has some way to go.
People are not cattle. People are very complex beasts subject to different whims. We need systems which are programmable, revocable, usable under duress, usable under situations of danger, crisis or perceived danger.
The whole chipping process takes 3 minutes under local anaesthetic. Cost? £70. Chips might seem futuristic, but really, they're just a visible sign of something that's already here. Because you don't need a microchip to be tracked on London's tube network. You just need one of these. Every time you tap in, you're being tracked. Every time your phone pings off the Wi-Fi inside, that's tracking you too. If you use one of these bikes, that's tracking you. And so is everything in the so-called smart city. The sci-fi dystopia we're also worried about is actually already here. Roland Manthorpe, Sky News.
2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah YAHAWASHI, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah YAHAWASHI, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah YAHAWASHI, Bahasham Rakah Hakudash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the elect of Israel. Shalom. Welcome to another update of the Mark of the Beast is indeed the RFID chip. And we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Of Esau's devices, one of his devices being that implantable microchip. Now this is on businessinsider.com. An article entitled, "Several UK businesses are discussing implanting microchips in their employees' hands." And this article is by Sean Wolf, dated November 12th, 2018. And we've been speaking on this for a long time now, telling you people that this technology is coming to the forefront. Everyone's going to know about it because eventually it will be mandatory. Now it's voluntary, it's optional, but in the end it's going to be forced on you. And basically Esau, he's going to make it to where you won't be able to function in the society without that chip, because it's the mark of the beast. Okay. It says some prominent UK companies are planning to offer optional microchip implants for their employees, which would mostly perform the same functions as identification badges. Which that microchip is the badge of the Antichrist or the anti-Messiah, which is this system, this beast system. Okay? The Antichrist or anti-Messiah is not just one person. It's talking about this system. This system is against the Messiah. You wanting to implant a microchip in everyone on the planet Earth? That's against the Messiah. Okay? But the point is, it replaces your ID badge. Okay? So you can be identified by having this chip. Radio frequency identification. Okay, so several UK companies are adopting this technology, and they're getting it from Sweden. Biohacks, the Swedish company planning to offer its microchip services to UK businesses, didn't say which companies are considering the move. The company said the microchips can make everyday tasks faster, like buying food. Oh, like buying food. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? It can make everyday tasks faster, because the key word they're going to sell you is convenience. Okay? By making everything easier. All right, so it makes everyday tasks faster, like buying food and entering the building. Right, so yeah, you just scan your hand, you go into a door. Okay? You don't need a ID badge. You don't need to, use your fingerprint. Just swipe your chip. The implants are also able to restrict access to certain areas. Right, so the only people that has access to certain areas are the ones with that microchip. Workers at some UK businesses may soon be able to demonstrate that their dedication to the job is literally skin deep. Biohacks, a Swedish microchip company, is currently discussing with several prominent UK companies the possibility of offering microchip implants to employees, the Telegraph reports. Which at this time, there are over 4,000 people in Sweden alone that have these implanted microchips. Look it up. Also in Germany. Look it up. The main benefit of the procedure seems to be convenience. Right? Because see, people want things instant. They want things instant. They want to move fast. And with technology, everything is becoming more compact. Instead of you having a fatback television, everyone has a flat screen. Okay? And at this point, people have moved from desktop computers to laptops and even just using their cell phones. You have cell phones, you have tablets, or should I say smartphones? Okay? And tablets. Okay? You have smart TVs. But the main point is everything is becoming more compact. And with this technology, see, they went from wearables, okay, from you wearing certain things. For example, you have earpieces, or, you have a watch. Even, dealing with your cell phone. You carry your cell phone everywhere you go, so you're wearing it on you. All right? Your wallet. You have your wallet on you. They're taking that to say that, well, you know what? Now we need to put it in you. Put everything in you now. Okay? And implantable instead of a wearable. Okay? But going back to this article, it says the microchip implant essentially serves as an internal employee identification badge. But it can also make purchases. The chips can be used to grant access to buildings and to pay for things. Around the office, like food or print jobs. They can also be used to restrict access to certain off-limits areas. Whether having electronic circuits implanted between your thumb and forefinger is your idea of a job perk or a dystopian nightmare depends on your perspective. But the Telegraph notes that the chip implants will be optional for employees for right now. Biohacks didn't name any of the companies that were considering the implants, but one is a financial service with hundreds of thousands of employees. Biohacks told the Telegraph. The implants are similar to the microchips commonly used with pets and are inserted into the hand between the thumb and forefinger. And see, this is why the elite call the masses of people goyim. All right, which from the Hebrew, gawayam, which means cattle. Okay, they actually look at you like animals, like pets. That's why they want to chip you. Biohacks says the implant process only takes a few seconds. After they're implanted, the microchips work similarly to contactless payment systems, just like you use on your phone. Okay, you use certain contactless payment systems to pay for things. All right, you have a Samsung Pay app, you have a Walmart Pay app, etc. You know, people pull up at Chick-fil-A, you know, through the drive-through, and they'll pay with the Chick-fil-A app. Same technology. Okay, you know, instead of you using a QR code, you know, a quick response code, you're using a microchip. The employee will just need to present their hand to a scanner to activate it. This is the future, man. This shows that we're in the future. Yeah, and it says read more about thousands of people in Sweden are embedding microchips under their skin to replace ID cards. Right, so that has happened already. Some have voiced their concerns over the practice, including UK labor unions like the Trade Unions Congress. We know workers are already concerned that some employers are using tech to control and micromanage, whittling away their staff's right to privacy. TUC General Secretary Francis O'Grady said to Joanne Osterlin, the founder of Biohacks, anticipated this kind of response, but said employees shouldn't be worried. If this came from a government, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? No, that's not going to happen. Osterlin said to the Telegraph, we're a private actor. We're doing this with our community, for our community. But you know what? The elite are behind everything. When it comes to technology like this, they're behind it. They are behind it. So don't take that damn chip, man. All right, you saw it heavy in Sweden. Now it's heavy in the UK. All right, and since I mentioned Sweden, here's an article here. It's a bit older, but this is on foxnews.com. It says, are you ready for a chip implant? And this was published November 3rd, 2018. So this is all recent. Are you ready for a chip implant? And this article is by John Brandon with Fox News. So this is no fairy tale. You see that this is happening in real time. Okay? You walk into a grocery store and pick up eggs. No smartphone, no problem. You swipe your hand across a reader and the amount is deducted from your bank account. This the future. Because you got to ask yourself, why is this news? Why is this mainstream? They're pushing for it. If that sounds far-fetched, you obviously haven't been to Sweden recently, where thousands of people have reportedly had chips implanted in their bodies. A company called Biohacks has already installed around 4,000 chips in customers, inserted just below the thumb. They can use the implant to open secure doors, pay for tickets, and share emergency information with medical personnel. The chip is about the size of a Tylenol pill or the size of a grain of rice, and the procedure, which costs $180, is similar to getting a tetanus shot. Which, if you want to read the rest of this, you can read on your own. But it's all relevant. It's all saying the same thing. This thing is here. And it's here to stay until the Messiah comes. which is YAHAWASHI. So with that, don't take that damn chip. I'm going to leave you with this scripture here, which we all know, but I'm going to get it anyway because we're in that time. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Don't take that chip. Don't take that damn chip, all right? Because there is a judgment for taking that chip. When you read in Revelation chapter 14, verse 9 on down to verse 11, it tells you that you're going to be destroyed for taking that chip. You're not going to go to some damn hell dimension, but you're going to be burned in that nuclear holocaust, which is going to take place during World War III, because America will be destroyed, because America's Babylon the Great. So with that, I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah YAHAWASHI.
What are these microchips for?
Well, sovereign identity, protection of your data and your personal integrity. And besides that, it's an awesome tool to handle all your digital interactions throughout the day, making them more secure and easier.
So who's using them at the moment, and why specifically?
Well, anyone above 18 that breathes. We have 65-year-old government officials all the way down to 18-year-old tech students.
So if a company comes to you and says, well, we want microchips for our staff, what is the company using them for? What's the difference between the traditional ID pass that you swipe to get in and out of the building, for example, and a microchip?
Convenience, for one. And two, technology has moved into the body, and it already begun, and it's not going to stop. So our main priority is making sure that it's made for the user and by the user, rather the other way around. I mean, it's more likely a user goes to the company and says, we want this to be implemented. I want to be able to use my chip in my workplace. One of those were TUI travel, for instance. Now they're outfitted with 100 microchips. 20 of those are C-level executives, and they've integrated an entire ecosystem to support NFC implant usage. I mean, that creates new types of data. It creates a new type of behavior, new types of behavior data that's owned by the user.
I mean, I suppose there is a fear, isn't there, that this is a little bit Big Brother, really. And if I'm working for a company and they say to me, well, if you'd like to, you can have a microchip fitted and then all of your data is stored there. You can get in and out of the building. You can get access to the printers. You can get access to documents. I'm thinking to myself, well, what else can they have access to about me?
Well, the thing is, all the data is aggregated in your control. So you decide where the data goes, if it goes, when it goes, and to whom. And also what you get paid for it. So we're already, before the GDPR, we were protected by the PUL. So basically, personuppgiftslagen, which protected your personal data. Now the GDPR is like a big brother to that law. And besides just protecting you and giving you the right to kind of demand misuse of it, anyone misusing it now get a 20 million euro fine or a 4 to 5% on net. So actually trying to take advantage of it would be kind of silly, I guess.
So you've explained about the user protecting their own data. What's in it then for a company? Why should they spend quite considerable sums, I suppose, if you're talking about an entire company, having employees fitted with these implants?
Well, besides everyone being 90% more efficient in everyday interaction and access management, ID management, reporting, and so on, you can let go of a pretty substantial chunk of administration, which is just checking in and out cards, replacing cards, renewing them, reissuing them, and so on and so forth. Just take a hospital, for instance. The fact that you have your accreditation in a plastic card that you can forget while taking lab reports, and then you go to X-ray, and then you got to log in, but your card is still in lab. I mean, that 1 hour doesn't amount to 1 hour of his paycheck. That amounts to 1 hour for everyone that he's going to meet throughout the entire day, cascading. And that sums up to substantial amounts of subsidiary money. I mean, that's money that can be well spent somewhere else. And time more well spent.
And in terms of the practicalities of it physically, where and how is this implant fitted?
Between thumb and index, right here. It's a pretty robust area. It's easy and agile, and
Does
it's
it
well
hurt?
protected. It's like getting your earlobe pierced, let's say.
And if an employee leaves the company, what happens then?
You mark the employee, press delete, done.
So the microchip stays, but the information is given.
Yeah, I mean, your access and your restrictions, you just need to remove it from your database. It's like if you remove a contact from your contact list. It's that easy.